Hail and well met friends, Andang here for an episode of Helm's Deep as we make our way through the amazing zone that Turbines crafted when we last left off. We caught up with the king, and were hopefully trying to find where the missing leaders of the Westfold are. And now we shall talk to Éomer to see how we can help in the Westfold. If you wish to help the Westfold and Rohan, think to helping yourself. Seek shelter in the Hornburg, and defend it with us. Help us, ready for battle. If reports hold true, it is folly to roam the plains right now. Yes, we need Ekbrand, but can he get here in time, if he even lives? You thank Éomer for his advice, but you wonder what Gandalf would have you do. Alright. I cannot advise easily, Andang. I truly worry that those of us who ride on to the Hornburg will not live to see the morning. But I believe that crossing the plains of the Westfold before Saruman's army will mean certain death. Yet, the hope lies in Gandalf. For myself, I will stay and defend Theoden and Rohan with my life, for Rohan has ever been an ally to my people. I hope that Gandalf can find Ekbrand in time. Aragorn believes that hope lies in Gandalf, and in finding Ekbrand. So, you have decided to part ways here, Andang. I pray for your safe return, and I hope that there is still time to draw swords with you at the Hornburg. Good luck with your search for Ekbrand. Be careful. The Westfold is not as it once was. The enemy has claimed this land. The battle at the Hornburg will decide the fate of Rohan. I do not know where Ekbrand would go after the fords of Isen fell. Perhaps with Grimbold back to the town of Grimslade? Or perhaps to Martin, which lies closer to the Gap, or perhaps elsewhere. I urge you to begin your search in Martin, for my men bear news thither as soon as they have news to bear. Good luck to you, Andang. I know I will see you again soon. Alright, well, let's first find the guardhouse and all that stuff. Might as well. Alright. So we are already getting into some major things. It seems that the zone has already fallen, and I'm not just making that up. Theoden himself, those words came from his mouth, that the Westfold has already fallen, and that Helm's Deep is the final hope for the zone as a whole. And for even Rohan as a whole. So things are about to get very interesting. But first we need to find the guardhouse. And yeah, definitely in a few episodes we will be fighting here. Going through the epic battles. Helm and Dwayne have a great deal to do to reinforce the guardhouse. Alright, let's talk to this guy. We are trying to reinforce the doors, but there is not enough sturdy wood in the deep.
These doors will not hold long.
Everything is either rotted or dry and old. Brittle wood will not do us good. We must hope that Gamling and the other soldiers are able to keep the armies of Saruman from breaching the dike, for these doors will not keep them long. Hammer says I am wrong. I hope he is right.
The tides of war bring you once again to the King's Shore, my friend.
The tides of war bring you once again to the King's Shore, Andang. No, this time I will not take your weapons, or keep you from seeing Theoden. Now I am pleased you are here, and hope that your skill in battle is great, as I am told. Dwayne and I seek to reinforce the doors of this guardhouse, but it is to be hoped that the forces of Saruman do not get this far into the deep. Still, it is good to be prepared. You tell Hammer of your meeting with Leofith in Brockbridge, and the doorward sighs heavily. Thank you for the news of my father, Andang. He has been in poor health for many years, but I am glad to know that he thinks of his son from the time to time. He is often in my thoughts. If there is some measure of glory to be had in the hours ahead, I hope it is my lot to make Lefrith proud. Helm is neither confident nor without hope, but he seeks to make his father proud. Alright, and I think that that's actually on the wall over here. Yes, talk to Legolas upon the deeping wall. Alright, well that is what we shall do. And I'm going to dismount. Alright. Let's go find Legolas. There we go. Legolas waves a greeting as you approach.
You should ask the king if there is aught you can do.
We meet once more, my friend. If you seek battle, you have come to the right place. But if you seek a good rest or a peaceful quiet, you should leave this ravine at once. If the numbers reported by Theoden's scouts can be trusted, this entire gorge will be filled with orcs before the moon is down. From here I will have a clear shot upon any foe that seeks to cross the flat plain before the deeping wall. Every arrow I lose will spell death for one of our enemies. But which will I find exhaust, my arrows or our foes? All of us will have our part to play during the coming night. Legolas fears he will run out of arrows before the battle is done.
These are the times that prove the strength of our hearts, are they not?
We are well met, my new friend. These are times that prove the strength of our hearts, are they not? We are lucky to live in such times, for the opportunity to prove ourselves up to the task. Saruman's orcs will arrive at the dike, and, if they are not defeated outright, they will push into the space before our walls. We will whittle down their numbers with arrows, and with thrown spears, and they will shake their blades and gnash their teeth, and will have no choice but to turn away. The Hornburg has never been breached. It will not be breached tonight either. Sigurd is incredibly confident, because he has secretly made a deal with Saruman behind the scenes to ensure that his life is spared. Or so that is what the storyteller would like you to think. Not really. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk with the stable master.
These are desperate times.
Alright,
for
we
the
can go all the way to
Lothian.
South Bree from here. That is fantastic. That is the Jonah and the Whale button, where you can just run off to South Bree away from what you're supposed to do. Alright, let's see here. We need to go back up and enter into the tower. Alright. Let's hurry along. Oh, we have to go up even further because this is such a big place. Some people say they easily get lost in here, but it's really not too confusing. It's not Moria, that's for sure. Let's actually look out over here. It's crazy to think that by the time the moon falls, that this entire valley will be filled with orcs. Let's hope we can last the night. There are more guards over there. That was pretty cool. The other side of the thing. Oh, that's why it's all connected. Never mind. Don't think that was there before.
This is where I will make my stand. Let
Welcome to the
Saruman's
Hornburg,
armies
Andang.
come.
This is where I will make my stand. Let Saruman's armies come. They will break upon our walls, and we will scatter them across the fields. There is no shortage of tasks to be done. The only thing that we lack is time. The scouts tell me Saruman's forces will be here before the moon is high. Theoden is confident the Hornburg will not be breached. Alright. Time to talk with Éomer.
You ride a fast steed, my friend.
You ride a fast steed, my friend. Were you able to be a help to my sister Eowyn? And how did you find my own home of Aldburg? Has Arsil maintained the village as well as his father once did? You give Eomer what tidings you can in the little time you both have to spare. I see. My uncle believes this battle will be over quickly, but I am not so certain. I hope he is right, though. There will be much work to do to restore the mark, even once the fighting is done. But first we must survive the coming battle. Eomer is worried that the battle will neither be easy nor quick.
My heart tells me that we are in for a long night.
Andang, I'm glad to see you, my well-traveled friend. My heart tells me we are in for a long fight. The men of Rohan have sheltered in the Hornburg before, and its walls have never failed them. I have seen many points of weakness already, and we have only been here a short while. We must ensure this fortress does not fall. If Rohan falls, I fear the rest of Middle-earth will not stand long. So now we're fighting for all of
Weapons are
Middle-earth.
in short supply.
Good to know. Weapons are in short supply here. Ekrand had a small amount for the garrison, but his men took most of the weapons and armor with them when they rode to the fords, and most of them have not returned. Theoden has called for the people of the Westfold to send as many iron goods as they can spare to the deep. It is not much, but we may be able to fashion weapons and crude armor from these iron goods in the hours we have before the battle is joined. Search through one of the barrels of the iron goods and sort its contents on the nearby mat. Any strong iron could be useful, but we need to know what we have available. Wise words. Alright. Let's go over to the sorting mat. Lots of people congratulating on me on 95. With a third of the goods set out on the mat, you see little of use. With most of the goods set out on the mat, you still see little of use. With all the goods set out on the map, you see one or two usable pieces.
I have had an idea, friend.
I have had an idea, friend. While watching the men training, I realized something interesting. From a great distance, I could not tell if a man was training with a straw dummy, or if his opponent was merely parrying his blows with a deal of motion. If I, with the keen eyes of my people, could not tell the difference, what would one of Saruman's ill-bred minions make? I think we should carry some training dummies to the top of the wall, Andang. It will make our numbers seem all the greater, and if any arrow wasted upon a dummy is one which could have struck a fighting man, that is a trade worthy any amount of heavy lifting. That's actually a pretty good idea, possibly. Right. Yes, let's carry the dummy. Alright. Let's see here. This has to be the silliest I've felt in a long time. Right, where am I supposed to carry this exactly? All the way over there. Alright, we're gonna drop down and hopefully not kill ourselves. Okay. That was good. Glad we did not die there. I guess I could have gone down and walked across the bridge, but you know. Here we are, I think. Yes. You set the dummy atop the wall and hope it will draw the fire away from the defenders.
That is a clever idea, if it proves successful.
That is a clever idea, if it proves successful, Andang. Unless Saruman's armies turn aside for some reason I cannot tell. They will arrive at the deep during the hours of darkness. They will not be able to tell the difference between these dummies and the defenders atop the wall until they get very near to the wall, and by then I will have claimed the many lives of orcs. I spoke for a time with your friend Coradane. I met his sister when we stayed in Lothlorien. If Siglith were here, with her deadly knives, the orcs would have a great deal of fear. While I'm wishing for unlikely happenstance, why not hope for the arrival of an army of my own kin? That would be a sight indeed, but they are far from here, and have their own concerns and their own lands to defend. The Rohirrim are on their own. They will have to make do with 2 elves, 1 dwarf, and 2 men. Speaking of Coradane, he wanted me to send you to him. He rode down to the dike, and said he wished to see the approaching armies with his own eyes. Right, well, thankfully we only had to carry 1 dummy here. Makes things much simpler. Alright. Let's go ahead and head on down. Make our way over there. Alright, well, thank you guys so much for watching another episode of Helm's Deep. When we return, we will be sure to talk to Coradane by Helm's Dyke and see what news he wants to bring to me. And very soon, in a few episodes, we will be defending this great fortress of Rohan. And it is definitely one of the largest fortresses that we have ever been at in all of LOTRO. So very exciting stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you again real soon for another episode. PVMP and subscribe.